Indiana abortion providers were sent scrambling earlier this month after a leaked Supreme Court draft suggested that Roe v. Wade could be overturned. Mitch Legan is in Bloomington and has more on how Hoosiers would be affected if the landmark decision is reversed.
Almost 1.5 million Indiana women could lose reproductive rights if Roe v. Wade is overturned. Most wouldn't be able to access abortion services here or at any of the other state-approved abortion locations. That's because Indiana Republicans have vowed to increase abortion restrictions as soon as they're able. Now, abortion advocates are trying to plan for that uncertain future.
Wednesdays are Jess Marchbank's busy day.
And then everybody gets wet wipes.
Packing diaper bags is part of her role as state programs manager for All Options Pregnancy Center in Bloomington. Marchbank calls it a reproductive justice center for the area, helping women with all options through the pregnancy process.
I might be handing diapers and wipes out the back door and then answering emails and texts from people who are seeking abortion funding. And I'm currently fielding 60 to 75 a week for people to receive abortion care.
Her center doesn't provide abortions, just connects people with resources. And she's spending a lot of time on the phone now, since the Supreme Court leak suggested abortion regulations could be sent back to the states.
We have seen a spike in anxiety.
She knows Republican legislators have promised to restrict abortion if federal protections are lifted, and that concerns her. But she says really, it'd just be one more hurdle for Hoosiers who are currently seeking an abortion.
If Roe is overturned, the same people are going to be struggling the same way that they are now, maybe a little bit harder.
Planned Parenthood characterizes Indiana as a state hostile to abortion. The state allows abortions through 22 weeks, but regulations ensure they almost all happen in the first 13. There are 7 approved abortion centers, most of which are in the northern half of the state, and state law requires 2 separate visits for an abortion.
And then on top of those barriers, they're looking at $500 to $900.
Women deserve better.
With reproductive rights under threat, advocates have been taking to the State House to show support and encourage legislators not to strengthen restrictions.
People who are able to carry a pregnancy should be able to terminate that pregnancy for any reason or no reason at all, simply because they do not want to be pregnant, and that politics does not belong in something that is so deeply personal.
Even before the Supreme Court draft leaked earlier this month, 110 Republican lawmakers signed a letter asking the governor to call a special session if the court were ever to overturn Roe. Both Speaker of the House Todd Huston and Senate President Rod Bray declined interview requests to discuss what restrictions would look like, but they provided statements saying they'd wait to see how far the Supreme Court went and would look to increase protections for unborn children.
Right now, all options are on the table, and I'll wait until I see the final decision, not a leaked draft.
At least 26 states are expected to restrict abortion if Roe is overturned, including most in the Midwest. If Indiana's one of them, Hoosiers will likely head to Illinois.
We've been seeing this for a few years. It has been increasing in recent months, and we definitely expect it to rapidly increase once the Supreme Court overturns Roe.
The state made abortion a fundamental right for women in 2019. But officials at Planned Parenthood there have been preparing for a post-Roe world. They're expecting anywhere from 2 to 5 times the number of patients they're currently seeing, so they opened 2 of their newest abortion clinics on the Wisconsin and Indiana borders.
Those were decisions made not just on meeting a need here in Illinois, but anticipating a future where people from other states are going to need us more and more.
There were roughly 7,300 abortions in Indiana in 2020. Advocates say those women will leave the state if they can or resort to unsafe methods that put the mother at risk. Marchbank says a reversal of Roe would be damaging to many Hoosiers, but her job won't change much. She'll just shift more resources to connecting women with abortion funds that would help them travel out of state and pay for their procedures.
The most marginalized populations who are already struggling to access care, people who don't have $500 of disposable funds, people who don't have transportation or time off work, those are the people who are most affected now and are going to continue to be.
Some abortion advocates are saying if Republicans do go through with their plan to restrict abortion here in Indiana, then they should be willing to pay more for social services for young mothers and children. We'll get a better idea on that closer to the legislative session. For Indiana News Desk, I'm Mitch Legan.